The new Jedi Survivor trailer just came out, and I want to talk about new Cal, his force powers, his lightsaber powers, and a few other things in the trailer I cannot wait for. And just as a note before we get started, I've got the full gameplay for the previous game, Fallen Order, right here. So the first thing I'm really excited about is the fact that Cal Kestis is a Jedi. He's not like a kid Padawan who escaped and has PTSD and doesn't know how to use his powers. He's a Jedi. He already went through all this stuff, he got his powers back, he figured his things out, and now we're just kind of building off that. I mean, it's been 5 years after the first game, and you can really tell from this gameplay he's got a very different swagger to him. It just seems like he's much more proficient at what he's doing. You've got to think, Seer just quote-unquote promoted him tonight at the end of the last game, but he was a Padawan the whole game. So it just really feels like he knows what he's doing now versus the first game, which was more about healing. Next, I want to talk about the force powers we see. And this is another thing that points to the fact that Cal is not a kid anymore. In this game, it seems like you have a bunch of the same stuff, but then they added a bunch on too. He's falling down walls and sabering his way down, he's slamming people into the ground. The aerial maneuvers were awesome. I guess you have to think Seer did say he was making waves with the Empire, and if you do that, you either need to get good at stuff or you're going to end up dying. The real question I have is, are you going to start off with the force powers they left us off with? If you notice on the skill tree in the first one, there's more circles behind the ones that you can fill, kind of foreshadowing that Cal has more to learn. So my guess is he's going to start off more or less where we were, at least with the big ones like force jump and push, but I'm hoping the skill tree that we built in the first one is still somewhat intact. I'm sure there's things that you're going to have to unlock, but I can't imagine they're going to have a start from scratch. I mean, he's already done the start from scratch thing, so unless something monumental happens, I really don't see that happening. And as a side note, I wonder if they're going to let us keep the stuff we found in the first game, like the Scomp Link or the Darthamir climbing claws. On to number 3, lightsaber options. In the first one, you really only get the 2 options, the regular and then the double-sided Darth Maul sword. So in this game, they essentially doubled our choices. So now you've got the dual-wielding and the claymore. The dual-wielding one is my favorite. Lots of reasons for that. Ahsoka is one, she's fantastic. But also it's going to be your faster, more acrobatic option. So for sure, enemies you can jump around and kill them easily, that's going to be the option to use. Then you've got the claymore, so it looks like we're doing heavy and slow versus weak and fast dynamic here. And then of course the 2 original options. The claymore I'm going to use for sure. I like big damage weapons, but the speed thing is usually a pretty big minus for me, and then you've got the whole Kylo Ren baggage. The last thing I'm really looking forward to is what seems to be fights with friends. You get to work with a guy named Bode, and they only show it in one scene, but you do a combo attack. So I'd be really disappointed if this was just a one-off since they highlighted it in the trailer. I'm really hoping there's at least situations where you get to actually fight with people. Maybe not exactly like Arkham Knight, I don't want to switch control to Bode, but I do like the idea of having a support character in some fights. I'd especially love to see this with Merrin, which, despite the fact that her and Grease are not in this trailer, IMDb does have them on their page, so I'm assuming they're still in it. Merrin, though, I think would be more useful in a fight than Grease, right? But it would be cool to have her do her force magic while you're going after them with the lightsaber. So that's all the things I really liked about this trailer. It's a newer, more mature Mantis crew, at least the ones we saw, and I cannot wait to play as new Cal.